Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Energy News Beat Daily Stand-Up. My name's Stuart Turley, President and CEO of the Sandstone Group. It is crazy out there. Today is November 12th, and Michael is out in the field making money drilling for oil. So you gotta love that. Let's head off to our first stories. Trump picks up former Congressman Lee Zeldin to lead the EPA. This is huge for American consumers. Analysts explain why USA natural gas price is rising. You got to love this one. ADNOC Gas posts strong Q3 results. Board approves strategy update. I bet they're going to spend $1.95. QatarEnergy buys stake in Chevron-Operated block offshore Egypt. And then Russian gas flip between tankers near Spanish Exclave of Ceuta. I'll tell you, it's kind of funny. You gotta love a good dark ghost fleet story or how all that goes. But let's start out with our buddy President Trump. President Trump picks former Congressman Lee Zeldin to lead the EPA. Quote, he will ensure fair and swift deregulatory decisions that will be enacted in any way to unleash the power of American businesses while at the same time maintaining the highest level of environmental standards, including the cleanest air and water on the planet, Trump said in a statement. He will set new standards on environmental review and maintenance that will allow the United States to grow in a healthy and structured way. Lee, I'll tell you what, I appreciate everything that you've done for our country so far. I enjoy seeing you on the Gutfeld show, and I'd love to have you on the podcast with David Blackman and even Josh Young. I'd love to have a little energy policy type summit. Anytime you're ready, let us know. Because when you take a look at the EPA and the regulatory issues that the Harris-Biden administration did with the EV mandate on cars, their horrific mandates. We have the cleanest oil and gas industry in the world, but yet we're overregulated. The regulations cost the U.S. taxpayers trillions of dollars. So well done, Lee. You've got your work cut out for you, and we want to help spread the great word for you. So as the Trump campaign is now loving podcasts, we'd love to have you on at any time that you're willing. And let's go to the next story here. Analysts explain why USA natural gas price is rising. Why is the U.S. natural gas price rising today? That's a good question. Rigzone asked several key analysts on the. For me, it seems like a weather phenomenon, said Ole Havalbai, commodity analyst at, boy, I'm going to butcher this one. I'm just going to go ahead and Esden Balkan told Rigzone. The first recent updated weather forecast pointed to colder weather than expected temperatures across much of the U.S. At the same time, lower wind speeds were predicted. We've recently seen a similar effect in the EU dubbed Dunkelflaut, which is low wind and solar output, leading to reduced output from wind and power generation. Bottom line, wind and solar is intermittent. So I think this is pretty good. A combination of colder weather and Blutenfline or whatever, Dukenflot, is pretty funny. The EIA shows that according to the data from the S&P Global Commodities Insight, the average total supply of natural gas fell by 1.1% or 1.2 billion cubic feet per day compared with the previous report. Dry natural gas production decreased from 1.3% to an average of 101 BCF per day, and an average of net imports from Canada increased by 2.2%. So let's roll over to ADNOC and ANDOC Gas Post Q3 result, board approved strategy update. This is actually huge when you consider their update is they're looking at income increasing 11% year on year. That's big increase to $1.24 billion, beating Bloomberg consensus for the quarter. They are now announcing the Q3 results coincides with ADNOC's Gas Board of Directors approval of updated growth strategy of up to $15 billion into a CapEx expenditure. Holy smokes, Batman. That is a lot of drilling and or extra projects that they have going on. So well done, and I think that that's a great job there. There's a big future for natural gas around the world, and it will reduce methane and pollution. It is gooder for the environment, as a Oklahoman would say, but since I'm a Texan, I can't say that. QatarEnergy buys stake in Chevron operated block offshore Egypt. This is over in Club Med. And QatarEnergy will acquire 23% of the North Del Dubai Block 4 in the Mediterranean from Chevron, which will retain 40% interest in the concession. The other partners in the block are Woodside with 27 and Thara Petroleum and Egypt State Company with 10%. The H4 block lies about 10 kilometers or 6.1 miles offshore the Egyptian Mediterranean shore at water depths ranging between 100 and 3,000 meters. That's 328 feet to 9,842. It's pretty cool. When you take a look at Qatar buying more into Club Med, I think that's a great, because when you just go, oh, that's great. This is Club Med. This is the Egyptian. This is right off Israel's shoreline. And when you have more investment coming in from Arab countries, it is for a good, peaceful front that we're looking for. So I'm pretty excited to see that. I like peace. Let's roll over to the Russian oil gets flipped between tankers near Spanish enclave of Ceuta. The oil appears to have been switched between ocean-going tankers near the enclave in North Africa. It's on the west side of the Gibraltar entrance. On Saturday, the Suezmax class tanker Sayaka left the waters of Ceuta, a once popular destination for Russian oil switching, with its depth in the water indicating an unloaded cargo. Before then, the ship vanished from digital tracking systems for about 60 hours. It's about what it takes to unload a tanker, so just depends on the offload or the onload capabilities. No Euro cargo transfer has been conducted near Ceuta since August of 2023 after Spain wrote to local firms about the practice, which could lead to breaches in a group of 7 price cap on Russian oil. Before its transponder was switched off, tracking systems showed that the Soryoka collected about 730,000 barrels of Russian oil from Prismark on the Baltic Sea in October and then sailed on through. I just love this because this is actually a freedom kind of thing from the standpoint that the Harris Biden administration weaponized the US dollar incorrectly and really overstep their bounds in so many ways. So I'm almost like the old truckers when you had the bears in the sky and you had a convoy and you had Smokey and the Bandit and you were always trying to listen to see if you could outplay or outfox and drive faster. I'm almost rooting for the tankers just to avoid sanctions because they were improperly done and overly weaponized. You can overly weaponize against the US dollar. So, with that, I really am very happy for the Trump transition team. I do want to say this one thing. I am very tired of Republican rhinos. Please, if you're a Republican rhino, step down, step out, and go away. I am tired of not supporting what the mandate that the American people have voted for. So, with that, buckle up and get ready for an absolutely fantastic 2025. If you are looking for some tax problems coming up into this next year, take a look at your portfolio. If you like, my investments in oil and gas are getting about 30% right now, 32%. Give us a call, fill out the form on the website, and look forward to visiting with you. Thanks and have an absolutely fantastic day. Talk to you all soon.